Now, Palestinians are preparing for Ramadan in a somber mood with heightened security measures by Israeli police. Thousands of police have been deployed around the nearest streets of the Old City in Jerusalem, where tens of thousands of worshippers are expected every day at the mosque compound. And depending on lunar observations, Ramadan will begin on Monday or Tuesday of this week. Meanwhile, hopes for a ceasefire have apparently stalled. Hamas left negotiations in Cairo on Thursday without a deal, and Israel and Hamas have blamed each other for the lack of an agreement. Meanwhile, a ship transporting food aid to Gaza is set to leave Cyprus as part of plans to ramp up deliveries by sea. Now, the initiative, backed by the EU, aims to open a maritime corridor that could be used for further deliveries. SABC News Correspondent Alex Cadier is in Jerusalem and joins us now with the latest. Alex, a very good evening to you. What is the latest with the ceasefire talks? Any headway made today?
Well, no headway made today specifically, but we know that efforts are intensifying to reach a deal as quickly as possible. The Egypt, Qatar, the United States are all working as hard as they can to try and negotiate a release deal for the Israeli hostages, as well as a temporary ceasefire. Now, that is ongoing. We know that Bill Burns, the director of the CIA, met with David Barnea, his Israeli counterpart, the head of the Mossad, on Friday to update him on the talks as well. We know that there is a lot of effort being put into this, both by the United States and those mediating countries, but so far no breakthrough has been made, and the pressure is rising. The stakes are incredibly high, both, of course, in Gaza, with a quarter of the population there on the verge of famine, according to the United Nations, and here in Jerusalem, where there is a real sense that those tensions, this war, could spill over, could turn this city into a tinderbox as well, with many Muslim worshippers wanting to come here, come to Al-Aqsa Mosque behind me during the holy month of Ramadan, possibly being stopped by Israeli security forces. That could lead to very high tensions here in Jerusalem.
Talk to us about the heightened security measures, Alex, that we've just heard about around the mosque, and how has this been received, as Ramadan should be observed either from Monday or Tuesday, according to the latest reports?
Well, the situation on the ground is one of very significant Israeli police presence. Very heavily armed Israeli border guards are everywhere in the Old City. If you walk 5 minutes, you will find 5 or 6 of these heavily armed guards assembled at checkpoints. They are occasionally checking bags. They are asking young Palestinians to lift up their jackets, lift up their shirts to see underneath. They are doing these checkpoints across the city and at the gates of the Old City. I walked from Damascus Gate all the way to the compound of Al-Aqsa Mosque behind me to see the situation, and 3 or 4 checkpoints were between the gate and the mosque compound, about a 10-minute walk. So it's a really heavy presence, patting people down, checking bags at every turn, and that may contribute to the tensions. Now, the Israeli government say very clearly they are not going to limit the number of worshippers allowed in the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound during the first week of Ramadan. That was the decision made by Prime Minister Netanyahu, but his national security minister, his far-right national security minister, Itamar Ben-Gvir, wrote him a letter saying he has to reconsider and that restrictions should be placed on the number of worshippers. And if that were to happen, according to the Israeli security forces, that could make this city a real flashpoint.
We're going to leave it there. Thank you for that update. Alex Cadier, the SABC News correspondent in Jerusalem for us.